we actually can make differences and not use so much electricity, and it means a lot for the whole community.
Yoshan is part of a small group of Lavoie Rogers students that participated in the installation of the school's first green energy system. This team effort, which included a local engineer, the school district's maintenance staff, and Lavoie Rogers' shop teacher, saw a new 14-panel solar power system put in on the roof of the school. Out of 51 funding applications to Solar BC, Lavoie Rogers was one of the 11 schools chosen to receive 90% of the cost towards a solar power system.
This system produces, at peak power, produces a little over 3.1 kilowatts. And to put that in perspective, if you look at the tubes, fluorescent tubes that we use in the school, these are 34-watt tubes. We can light up 92 of these, which would be enough light for 3 classrooms. Or another way of looking at it is we could provide the lighting for a computer lab plus the electrical needs of that computer lab.
It took just a couple of months for the team to install the system, which is now up and running, making Lavoie Rogers the first public building in Nelson to have a solar energy system.
The boys here, Russell and Yoshan and Hayden, have disconnected one of these sharp panels, and in behind they've exposed the inverters. So what happens is the sunlight shines onto these panels. They produce 35 volts DC, and that would be good for a system where there's a battery, but we have no batteries. Our electricity goes right into the grid of the school to be consumed in the school, and then it can go out into the community. There's an inverter for every 2 panels, so then it flows along the wiring that you see behind them, and it comes through to this disconnect. And then when we turn it on, the power then goes into the panel and to our outlets within the school.
The project as a whole was a great learning experience and will continue to inspire not only the youth who were involved in the installation, but also the whole student body at Lavoie Rogers.
I learned that you can produce power with the sun, and there's other ways of producing power like wind, sun, water, because eventually there has to be different ways of producing power.
It's helping our environment. It's not using as much electricity. It's using like natural power instead of I guess electric power.
I think it's a good cause that they're doing this, helping the environment, and I had a lot of fun.
I think it was meaningful for them because it's interesting, it's different. And how the other students will benefit in the school, they'll be able to watch the monitoring system. They could do experiments to see changing angles and what happens with shading and different times of the year, what happens to power production. And it's particularly in science classes. And they'll be able to understand just conservation, really, how difficult it is to generate electricity.
Christina Krichkowski, Shaw TV, Nelson.